Play is very, very important for the development of a child, and socialization can happen a lot through play as well. To understand socialization through play, we can look at Mildred Parten's 6 stages of play. Now, we can see that socialization mainly happens in the last 4 stages of play. To start with, the first type of play that the child will engage in is something called unoccupied play. That is, the child is not playing as much as just trying to understand how he or she can control his or her own body. That is, the child is interacting with some blocks, interacting with some toys, and just trying to figure out how can I hold this toy? How can I throw this toy? How can I squeeze this toy? Can I place one on top of the other? So the child is learning to control his or her own body. Next comes solitary play, where the child is playing with the toys, but the child is oblivious or is ignoring everything around him or her. The child is just playing with those toys. Next comes onlooker play, where the child will start looking at others who are playing with similar kind of toys, and they are trying to imitate, or they are trying to understand how the other children are playing. Right? So this is onlooker. In some cases, they might try to imitate. In some cases, they are just looking at the other children who are playing and trying to understand what is happening. So this is the first stage of socialization in play. Next is parallel play. That is, the child is looking at other children playing and trying to imitate them or trying to play in the same way. So the child is still playing on with himself or herself. The child is not interacting with other children, but his play is being influenced by others. The child is observing the others and trying to imitate. Next is associative play, where the child starts interacting a little more with the other children. The child is still playing by himself or herself, but the child is also interacting with others, speaking to others, asking for some toys, giving some toys. So some level of social interaction is happening, right? But the main play is still happening individually. And next comes cooperative play. So cooperative play is where the children are not just playing by themselves, they are actually playing together. That is, they are part of the same game. So it might be that one child becomes a police and one child becomes a thief, or one child becomes a doctor and the other child becomes a patient. So they are part of the same game. So that is cooperative play. So in this way, in the last 4 stages, that is when they start looking at other children and trying to understand what is happening, then when they start playing in parallel and trying to imitate other children, and when they start interacting socially with other children that they are playing with, and finally when they start playing together. So these are the 4 stages of play where socialization can happen. So this is socialization through play.